time for our first TNT chat of the season, and I feel like you're going to like today's topic. So, T, it's time to start embracing your villain era. And no, I don't mean casting spells or poisoning apples. It is a TikTok trend that's not about being an actual villain, but about being the anti-people pleaser. It's a call to prioritize yourself, to set boundaries, to give zero flips about how you're perceived when you do so. So I guess my question for you, T, is are you in your villain era? Are you feeling that vibe? Are you putting up boundaries?
I was born in my villain era. I just, like, people-pleasing has just never been my thing. It's never been my cup of tea. Sometimes I wish I had that gene in me.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd be a lot further in life. You know, it can hold you back if you don't care what people think, right?
Yeah,
but I just don't. I'm not saying I never care what people think, but I don't put as much stock into it as a lot of people do.
Which is what most of us are trying to get to.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily something you need to back away from. Like, for me, one of the best things about getting older is that I'm getting closer to that. You know, I'm getting closer to the point where I feel super comfortable in just saying, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't like this. No, that doesn't work for me. So I'll tell you, the problem with people pleasing, and I was a very big people pleaser, maybe not a huge people pleaser, but definitely a people pleaser. At the TV station I worked at before this, I was working on a show there, but also had the opportunity to anchor some of the newscasts. So this was an opportunity I really wanted, to anchor the newscasts. So the anchor of the show I was working on did not like the fact that my time was sort of being stretched between these two opportunities. And they felt that, you know, I don't know, Tracy, it's like you're leaving early to go to this next gig. Is it really worth it? Like, is this really how you want to be investing your time? And me being an idiot, I was like, oh, well, he seems to be saying my loyalties are divided, so let me go and fix this problem. That was his problem, not mine. So I went into my boss and I said, listen, I don't know if I can keep balancing these things. I don't know what I expected my boss to say to come up with some magical solution where I can still do both. My boss got real smart with me and they were like, fine, you're out of the anchor. You're out of the anchor opportunity. You know what? He gave me exactly what I deserved. So I went back the next day. I did the show I was doing, and then I went home. And it was like, why did I do that? I put someone else's needs above mine for a reason that is not going to benefit me at all. I don't even know if it benefits them. They're probably just a picky person that complains about everything. So the next day, I went back, and I went to my boss, and I said, I made a mistake. Could you please put me back on the anchor desk? I can do both. And they said, are you sure you can do both? I said, I can do both. And then they put me back on the anchor desk, and the next time the person complained about me being divided, I was like, have a good day, because it was not my concern. It wasn't about me, and I think that's the lesson that a lot of us need to get to. It's like, you're the one living your life. Yeah. It's not a dress rehearsal. It's not a tryout. This is it. Yep. So if you're not making your moments matter for your goals and your dreams and your motivations where you need to be, there's no point. Listen to you. You know what you need. I know what I want. What's the joke you always say about me when I was born? You're always like... So most of us come out of our, you know, the womb, and we're like, eh. You came out of the womb and you were like, bottle! I know what I want. You know what you want. You can verbalize what you want. You don't care about the people that don't have a bottle for you. Whoever has the bottle, put it in my mouth. Yeah. Like, you know what the funny thing is, though? But as I get older, I find, oddly enough, like, listen, it's always been an issue for me growing up. People are like, you know exactly what you want. People think it comes across bossy or too direct. Yeah. But as I get older, actually, people are more uncomfortable with it. Interesting. Like, work environments and just, like, places, just in society. The older you get, the more people want me to conform, and the more I fight it. Right. You know? It's almost like there's more outrage as the years go by, as people are like, why haven't you learned yet? Yes. Conform. That's exactly what it is. So there's almost more outrage as you get older, which is interesting. Like, you and I are sort of on different paths that way, because me, I'm trying to, like, break my way out, and you're sort of like, let me be! You know, let me be the villain in my life.
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory, and I think that, you know, I often say I complain about perimenopause, I complain about my hot flashes, I complain about, you know, the fact that sometimes I bend over and I feel something right there. But what I will say about age, the biggest blessing has been feeling this, and I don't want to say invincibility because no one's invincible, but it's such a quiet confidence in who I am and what I'm about, and knowing that no matter what gets flung at me, it hurts, but I know it's not who I am.
Right.
I know
and
who
that's
I
what
am.
it is, the confidence part. That's the
Yes.
most important part, because when you are someone who starts to say no and you decide that you're going to pick yourself first, or you say what you want, people misunderstand that.
Yes.
Or they just don't like it because it doesn't align with what they want. You
No.
want to be able to just be confident in yourself, and if it means you have to be alone sometimes, it's going to feel lonely sometimes, and people
Yeah.
are not going to understand you. I'm misunderstood all the time. All the time.
Absolutely.
But you have to be confident in yourself.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the whole point. That was a good wrap up. Be confident, y'all. Get into your villain era and know who you are.